What's going on, everybody on YouTube? How you doing? It's your favorite guy in the hoodie, Jay Knows Credit, back with another video. Hey, listen, just want to tell you a little bit about what's going on right now in this country, and also give you some limited time things that's going on here at Jay Knows Credit. Okay, so as far as student loans go, now everybody knows that the CARES Act was passed. Now, with the CARES Act that was passed, everybody knows that the government loans, if you had any federal government loans, federal student loans were all automatically taken into forbearance, to where you don't have to make any payments or anything like that. But what most people don't know about the CARES Act is that it also eliminated people who had defaulted before. So if you had defaulted before on your student loans, like gone into the negative to where that student loan went into collections, okay, then you don't have to worry about any type of like payments, and you don't have to worry about having to be in trouble for the student loans, even the ones that went into garnishment or went into a negative status even before the coronavirus even started. You don't have to make any payments towards that at all. Okay, so having that negative on your credit is not going to affect you as much as all the other things you have on your credit. So student loans that are in a negative status before, just want to let everybody know right now that it won't affect you as much as you think it will. So yes, the CARES Act helped everybody with student loans, but those who were already messed up in their student loans beforehand, you are still getting a benefit from the CARES Act. Okay, so just want to let you all know, and you don't have to worry about any type of extra money, like any type of extra fees or anything like that. You don't have to worry about any of that you have to go pay. So anybody who has student loans right now that are federal loans, y'all shouldn't even be stressed about that. Don't think about it. Don't worry about it. If you had a payment, it's going to it's automatically in forbearance. You don't have to call anybody. You don't have to do any work. Okay. Only for federal though. So if you had any private loans, it does not cover private loans for the CARES Act. Okay. So any private loans you got, you still got to be responsible and take care of those. I would call those people and communicate if you would like to get those things, for a hardship, COVID pandemic hardship. Call, communicate. That's the biggest thing with people right now. People right now are having a hard time communicating with their creditors. Okay. So if you owe anybody money and you know for a fact you don't have the money coming in to pay these bills, please, please, please communicate. I don't care. Like, I know right now things are starting to kind of open back up a little bit in certain areas. I know MGM Grand in Vegas is opening up in full come the beginning of March. Right now, Royal Caribbean and Carnival Cruise Lines are starting to, you know, let people know they're going to start opening here soon. I know Disney World is opening back up, and a lot of things like that. So as these businesses start to kind of open back up, excuse me, and the world starts to open back up, things are going to get a little better. But right now, if things are tight for you, you have to communicate with your creditors. Like, you just can't be like, oh, well, I'm just not going to think about it, I'm going to forget about it. That's going to hurt you big time. If you don't have the money, you may not be able to pay it, but still call. Even if you've already went through where they gave you a forbearance for whatever reason with other things that you have that you owe on your credit, you want to still communicate. If you still, to this day, if you can't pay it, be like, hey, I know I couldn't pay my bills this time. I know I'm calling you for a second time, but ma'am, sir, whatever, I'm doing the best I can. I got another job lined up. I'm Ubering, I'm whatever. Can I pay half the payment? Can I pay a quarter of the payment? In order for me to be in good standing still in my credit report. Okay. So I'm talking to a lot of the people out there, or people that you may know, who are still suffering financially, throughout this time. Like, they haven't really rebounded, even though, we started back around like last February time when the stuff started getting really thick. Okay. And now we're here a year later, and a lot of people are still financially, not in a good place where they can, afford their bills. Okay. So nothing wrong with recommunicating about what's going on with your situation. But it's always good when you communicate with the creditors to have some type of light. So you can't communicate all negative information because it looks like all woe is me, and there's nothing positive in there to show that you're going to try to keep making the payment in the future. All right. What do I mean by that? You can call a creditor and say, hey, I can't make the payment right today, but I can pay a little something, maybe, half or 30%. And on top of that, um, I've been applying for places and I look like I have a good opportunity to have another job here in the next 2 weeks to start really paying y'all back in full again here within the next month. Okay. That's kind of giving some good information, you know, to them and not just negative, 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 woe is me, woe is me, woe is me. They've been hearing that now from plenty of people already. Hundreds of thousands of people have already called, probably millions have probably called to do the same thing as far as trying to get some type of leniency with these bills. So you got to set yourself apart if you want somebody from customer service to help you. All right, because there are those who will go above and beyond because they feel like you're trying to help yourself. Does it work every time? No. But I just want to communicate to you that you got to communicate properly if your finances are not where you would like them to be or they've gone down dramatically because of the pandemic. All right. But let's talk about the point of my post. My point of post, it says limited time. It's talking about for a limited time. So for a limited time only, okay, I'm going to be doing a couple of things. Now, here's one thing that you won't get from most people in the credit industry. A lot of them won't teach you anything. A lot of them won't give you the keys, let's say. I'm not one of those people. I will give you the keys. I will tell you everything about credit. I'll tell you, how to repair it yourself, how to start your own credit repair business, how to remove, inquiries, how to remove. I'll tell you all that information. It just costs to know all of that because keep in mind, you're paying for, some intellectual information and you're paying for a way of a person making money. Think about, asking Chick-fil-A how do they make their chicken sandwiches, okay? Like, how do they get it so, you got copycats out here who try to mimic it, but you're not going to find out exactly what they do to make that chicken sandwich, okay? That's intellectual property. And if you take that, you're taking away their business. So why would people want to keep coming to Chick-fil-A when they can come to your restaurant and spend their money, okay? So everything costs, even information. So before I was charging, when I first started teaching information, I was like, I didn't even really truly want to give all of it away. But I'm like, look, the person wants to get it, it's gonna be $15,000. That was the price starting out. Then I lowered the price to $10,000. I kept that $10,000 price for about a year and a half almost. Okay, and then I kind of had some specials going on and things like that to where I would teach people the information for slightly lower for a limited time. So once again, we're here with another limited time offer to where you're going to get some information on how to learn the actual game itself, as well as I got a limited time offer for anybody who wants to get their credit repaired through our faster services. And our faster services right now are 120 business days and 180 business days. Like, there's two different price points for that. But there will be some discounts for that up here. You'll get on this this live with me as well. But first, let's start off with learning the game. Maybe you want to learn the game. Maybe you want to have your own YouTube channel with teaching about credit. Maybe you want to just, expand your business you already have and getting into credit repair. Or maybe you just want to, start a business with credit repair, period, because you see that people need the services right now, and a lot of people's credit was affected with this whole last year. So you're going to have a big market share of people who will need their credit repaired. Okay, so I'm not just trying to do this for myself. I'm trying to give you an investment, right? So here's an investment for you if you want to take advantage of it, because you're talking about in 2020 alone, you're talking about at least another 5 million people, 5 million minimum, who now had good credit at one point, now they don't. 5 million. That's minimum. Okay, so that's the market share. Now, it doesn't matter what the company is. Every company cannot get every person because people like who they like. People do business with who they do business with. People watching this right now who don't like me, who will never invest in my company. They'll go somewhere else. People here who will invest with me and they'll invest in order for me to fix it. Whatever. What it doesn't matter. The point is everybody's not gonna like you. Everybody's not gonna like your company, but they may like this other company. Okay, so it's never going to get saturated or old because people will always need their credit repaired, right? So I was charging $10,000 for it. I'm going to do a special right now for the next 20 people only. This is only for 20 people because I don't want, let's say, I don't want, too many people to think this is normal. All right, because this isn't a normal price point at all. Okay, so I'm going to do it for the next 20 people only. Instead of paying 10,000, I'm going to charge 4,000. Okay, I'm gonna give you all the credit game, like everything from removals to, everything, how to remove student loans, all that. Okay, so you can get the whole entire game for $4,000. Now, there are gonna be people watching and saying like, "Well, Jay, I don't have $4,000. I ain't got that kind of money." I'm not talking to you right now if you don't have $4,000. Okay, I'm only talking to people who understand what $4,000 will bring them. Okay, and they may have other investments to where they're able to invest in something like this. Don't get it twisted. I got something coming for you. If that's not for you, but maybe you've got your credit might be in a bad place, and you may not have the amount of money to normally afford my services. But I'm about to change that here. If you have something now, I'm gonna show you what you can do with my next special. I'm gonna talk about here in a second. Okay, but for those who are business oriented, who have who understand what it is as far as who understand I'll say who understand investments. Let's say that. If you understand investment and return, you will understand the $4,000 is ridiculous. Now probably people gonna message me and be like, Jay, you can't charge $4,000. I just paid $6,000 or $10,000 or $15,000 when you did it before. Okay. So you're getting a very, very good deal at that price. Now, let me tell you why and how fast you can make your money back, right? So the average person who does any type of credit sweep or credit expungement or credit, any type of fast credit service, the minimum you're going to pay is going to be $500. That's somebody who don't even know what they're doing. That's somebody who just started out. They only got 2 clients. They're going to charge $500 minimum. Okay, so let's say you spent $4,000 and you're charging $500, right? So every 2 clients is $1,000. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8 clients. So with 8 clients, you've already made your investment back. It doesn't take long to get 8 clients, okay? And that's like low minimum at $500, right? If you're on the West Coast or you're in like Atlanta, something like that, you're not charging $500. Okay. Now keep in mind, in Atlanta, you're not even supposed to have a credit per business, but people down there still have one. All right. But you're going to charge a minimum of $1,500, minimum of $1,500 for your services. So you're talking about 1,500. 2 clients is 3,000. 3 clients is 4,500. Now, if you look at a traditional business model where you have to go, maybe buy a franchise for 100,000 to $1 million, or you have to go and invest 200,000 or 50,000 up front for a building and furnish it and all that. If you look at all that upfront cost you have to invest in order for you to get a return, even if you want to run your own, like credit pair office building, okay, you want to do it in an office, you still got to invest and put that money up. You got to put up, 2, 3, 4, 5,000 for the building up front. You got to pay for a couple of months because you don't have any clients yet. So you got all of that overhead instead of just investing something like with $4,000 and being able to get the game. All right. So this game will all be, one-on-one. I may make a course at some point, but right now everything is one-on-one because I want you to be able to know how to do it the way you understand it. Okay. Because if it doesn't click for you, what's the point? So that's what that service is. Now, for those who don't want to do a credit repair business, or who don't have the type of money or can't get access to that $4,000. Cool, no problem. You just want to get your credit fixed. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm also going to keep this I'm going to keep this light because I don't want it to get out of hand, and I don't want people to think that I'm going to keep doing this. So between today and the end of the month, now I'm going to say the end of the month, all right, I'm going to keep that up until 3 a.m. Eastern time, so midnight PST Pacific. Okay, so at midnight Pacific time, come February 28th, midnight Pacific time, this deal is going to be over. That goes for, well, the other one's only for 20 people, so that can go on until we fill 20 people for that. But for this is only going to last until the end of the month. All right, so from today to the 28th, any type of, it doesn't matter what you have on your credit. It doesn't matter like how many items you have right now, as far as your accounts. Now, increase right now, I'm gonna bring the price down of increase. They're normally $50 each. I'm gonna make those right now to be $30 a piece. Okay, so $30 a piece. No, let's make it even better. I'm gonna make it $20 a piece. Okay, make it. I know that's crazy. So I'm gonna do $20 a piece for increase. There's a 5 minimum on your increase, but they're gonna be $20 each. That's only from today to the end of the month. So don't be messaging and calling, nothing like that after the 28th at PST time. Don't ask, nothing like that. Okay. All funds got to be received on between today and the 28th. If they are not received, then it don't count. I don't care if you communicate it. I don't care about none of that. Ain't no don't say Ashley. Don't say nothing. I'm telling you right now. This is law right now. You have between today and the 28th PST to make the payment. The payment can be made through Bitcoin if you want to. It can be made through Zelle. It can be made through bank deposit. Okay. It can be made through Apple Pay, or it can be made through Facebook Pay. Those are your only options: Facebook Pay, Apple Pay, Zelle, Bitcoin, bank deposit. Those are the only payment options. All right, so that's for that. Now, for the accounts, I'm going to do all accounts, and doesn't matter how many accounts you have. I'm going to do all accounts. This is going to be for the 180-day service. That means everything's going to be removed within 180 days, or you're going to receive a full refund minus some shipping cost. Okay, so 180 business days, by the way, not calendar days. I'll make that clear, just so you won't say Jay's video said this and you didn't watch the whole thing. Okay, so 180 business days is the actual time frame. All right. Now, it doesn't matter how many accounts. It doesn't matter how many accounts you got in your credit. It's going to be only $12.50. $12.50 is going to be the price right now. Now, if you've called before and you've got a consultation, you know that that's very, very low, because some people's removals cost about $3,000. I had one lady's her removal cost, because she had so many, was like $9,700. That's how much it was to get her credit completely clean. Okay, $9,700. So if she wanted to call back right now, she could call back. Instead of paying $9,700, she could pay $1,250. And she has some extreme amounts of accounts and work that had to be done, where $1,250 it just wouldn't be worth it, to most people. So $1,250, what you're going to pay, and that doesn't matter how many accounts you have. Now, those accounts have to be closed. This is not open accounts. We're not talking about open accounts. If you've got open student loans that are not closed, or open accounts, any open accounts, this does not remove. Okay, if you've got late payments on any open accounts, this is not for that. Okay, if you want late payments removed from your credit, you need to get my standard credit repair service, which is $198 up front and $99 a month. Okay, for 6 months. If you if you need accounts removed. Now, open accounts, that means that you have all of your open accounts are in good standing, okay? And you only need the negative ones that are closed removed. This, I'm talking to you right now, okay? About the price to $12.50. Now, if you are a person who has, 3 late payments on your Capital One credit card and you still have the Capital One credit card open, this is not for you. Unless you don't care about those late payments, you're okay with having those lates, and you just want to get rid of all of your closed accounts. Okay, that's fine. But I want to make it clear because I don't want anybody calling and be like, well, Jay said this. No, Jay didn't. You didn't watch the video in full. I don't want to hear it. Okay, so $12.50 for unlimited accounts between today and the 28th. You've heard all of the payment options. Then, if you want to, get the full credit game with nothing left out, that's going to be $4,000 for the next 20 people only. And I don't know, maybe you're watching me and I'm not one of them people. Like, once we hit 20, I'm done, because keep in mind, I have to do it, and it's all one-on-one. And then every one-on-one is going to take about, depending on how a person learns, take between 3 hours and 5.5 hours per client. So I'm only doing 20. Let me make that clear. I don't care if you paid 4,000. If you paid and we got 20, I'm done. I ain't doing it. It's back to 10,000 now. If you want, you guys send another extra 6,000, if you want me to teach you. Okay, so that's what the cost is if you truly want to learn the game or get your credit fixed. I reiterate again as far as about the inquiry removals. $20 per inquiry only lasts between today and 28th PST midnight. Okay, make that clear. That's 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that means all payment has to be in by that time. Now you may not have all your documents in by that time. I may not get Social Security card and all that, but payment has to be made between today, 20 and the 28th PST. Don't try to pay February 29th. That's a joke. Okay? Don't try to pay, March 1st, okay? We're not gonna do that. That's how we're gonna do it for those who, really want the service. Okay? Now, for those of y'all who do have late payments already, and you just want to, repair your credit, it is $198 up front and $99 a month. That is, my standard, credit repair service. You're only paying $99 a month for 6 months. So unlike other companies that's going to charge you for 2 years and 3 years down the road, we're only going to charge you for a 6-month period. Okay, so you only have to make payments after that 6 month. You can stop, and that doesn't mean that your repair is going to take 6 months. That means that you're only paying for 6 months. Your credit could take 4 months. Your credit could take 11 months, but you're only paying for 6. Just want to make that clear, okay? So that special is going on right now if anyone wants to take advantage of that special, okay? And I will be doing a couple of things here with everybody. I will be doing a couple more giveaways and stuff like that. But just want everybody to know that in this time right now, if you're watching this video and you are in a bad place financially, okay? I want you to really dig deep inside yourself and think about why you are where you are financially. Only financial part. Like, why are you where you are? Are you where you are and pointing the finger at somebody else, or are you where you are and you realize you're where you are because of something that you did or something that you didn't do? Okay? Once you realize that, once you really get and dig deep into that, here's the next step. You got to change what you're doing. Okay? Now, one thing I did back in 2019, and this is documented, okay? One thing I did in 2019 was any extra money I got, I started investing it towards paying bills in advance. Instead of just buying stuff, I invested. So that way, once I got my bills paid up so much in advance, that way I could go buy something and never have to think about it. So I paid all my bills 6 months in advance. And then when I did that, that put me in a place to where if I wanted to buy something just because I wanted to buy it, because I liked it, I could do so. And I think that people say, well, Jay, I don't have that kind of money or like that. No, the reality is we all have a certain level of money, no matter where we live at. We just choose to invest our money in things that we like. And then we say, well, we can't afford something later. No, you could afford it. You could afford it, but you just chose to take your extra funds and put it towards something that you wanted at that time. Okay? So I don't care if you make $800 a week, $400 a week, whatever you make every week, you got to look at how you're living off of that money. Like, how are we living off the money that we're being paid? The money that God entrusts us with, the money that we agreed to make, or that we know we're going to make every hour or salary, whatever like that. We know exactly what we're going to make. For most of us, we know what we're going to make. Unless you're doing Uber or something like that, you know exactly what you're going to make on an hourly or a salary job. Okay, so there should be no surprises for you about what your bills are going to look like, because you're the one who runs up the bills. You use water, you use lights, you use cable, the internet, so you should know what your bill's going to be like. The problem is when we get extra, we want to treat ourselves more than we want to get rid of stress. When I say get rid of stress, I don't mean temporary stress. I mean like the stress of the bills that have to come again in 30 days. They're going to come again. You paid it, yeah, but they're going to come again 30 days later. So what are we doing to get ourselves ahead of the game and not just be on that paycheck to paycheck mentality? All right. The only way you're going to get out of that is if you start taking your extra that you are receiving and putting it and paying stuff in advance. Like a lot of people right now, every year they get a refund check, but they never use it to advance. They use it to celebrate, have a good time, buy the rent and roll rims, buy some Gucci and shoes, and nothing. I buy all of that crap, guys. So I mean, I'm not judging you in any way. I buy it too. You know what I'm saying? I bought this watch just because I could. You know what I mean? But there was a timing for that. You know what I mean? I didn't just buy it when I first got the money. I took money, paid stuff up, or I realized I took some money and I invested it, made profit off that money, took that profit, then paid bills up. You know what I mean? Like I had a strategy. There was a process of an order. There was a goal. There was a plan, which is probably a big thing. There was a plan in place for me to get to where I could just buy something because I wanted to buy it and not have to even think about it affecting me financially or me not being able to pay a bill because I bought it. But a lot of people are doing it backwards. We're buying a lot of stuff without having the security of our family being taken care of, or the security of just securing a place to stay for the next, couple of weeks, a couple of months. It's like we get it, oh shoot, I want to go out to eat. You know what? I want to buy that dress. I want to buy them shoes. You know what? I want to buy that hoodie. You know what? I need another couch. Probably don't, but I just buy another one because I can. Because we get that extra, we get that lump sum, we get $11,000 in the refund check, we get $5,000 in the refund check, we get $1,000 in the refund check, and we're like, oh, I only got $1,000, so I might as well just go ahead and blow the whole thing. No, take that 1,000, do something constructive with it to get yourself ahead of the game, so that way when it comes next February, or when it comes the next virus hits or something like that, you're doing something to align yourself to where nothing can shake you. That's the point. I want you to be in a place, whether you know me or like me or believe me or not, I want you to be in a place to where you are unmovable. You yourself need to be unmovable to where no matter what happens in the world, your household is straight. That's the main thing that should be important to you, is your household needs to still stand. In order for your household to still stand, You got to put something, you got to do some foundation work so that way it can still stand. If you don't build some type of foundation now, if you're only looking at that job or even that one business you got, okay, just one ain't even enough. Like people say, like one job ain't enough. Like one business ain't enough for some people. Like you might need to have multiple businesses only because if you've got one business and that one business is the one that's affected, you don't have any money. See, the reason why investors invest in so many different things is because they don't know what's going to be affected by what. They don't know what's going to affect what. All right, like Chipotle, spinach, shut everything down. People stop eating there a lot. They stop, a lot of people stop really even messing with Chipotle, right? Because of the whole spinach and all that. Now, what if you had all of your money? You bought 1,000 shares of Chipotle. You had all your money over there in that one basket, and then they go down like crazy. And all of your wealth is gone because you put all your money in that one area. Whether it's one area of a business or one area of a job, both of those things can still disappear because of the economy, because of how things work. People change, things change, likes change, trends change, and all that. And now your nest egg, the thing you banked on, that job or that business is gone. So you need to have multiple things in place. Investors invest in multiple things because, like, look, maybe all these are going to blow up and I make a whole ton of money. Or maybe 4 of them are going to go bust out of my 5 investments, and one's going to take off and pay for all the ones I lost plus profit. That's how you got to think when it comes to the moves you make when it comes to your money. Your money is a tool that has to work. If it's not working and it's just being spent, you're not going to get yourself in a better place financially. And that's what I want for everybody who's watching this. I want you in a better place financially. So that way you can do more. If you can do more, it's a collective. Like, there's no reason to wish harm or bad on somebody or try to one up somebody or flex on somebody or something like that. It's more of just wanting us all collectively to win in this financial game. You know what I'm saying? Like, why can't we all win? Why doesn't it have to be one person or 2 people or whatever like that, and we all just clapping, we doing all this hand service and celebrating, but we still stuck in the same place as a whole? I want us as a whole to get out of the hole. All right? But the only way you're going to do that is changing this mentality up here. And then once you change this, actually implement. Or once you get information, take the information out and apply it. It does you no good to get information and get information. You do all this getting and don't do no understanding because you're not applying it. Okay, so those are my deals I got for y'all going on. Hopefully y'all got something from this video, not just a special. What about that? If nothing else, hopefully a seed was sown for you to go out here and get it done and stop making excuses, stop finger pointing. You know what I mean? Doesn't matter what happened. Doesn't matter what's going on. You can blame COVID. You can blame the pandemic. You can blame your mama. You can blame God. But the fact of the matter is, what are you going to do? What have you done? Because you got money. You got a lot of money that came through your hands. What'd you do with it? It's not God's fault you blew it. He gave you seed. What'd you do with the seed? You had a job. You had one, even if you don't have one now. Who told you to blow all that money that you got paid? Who told you to buy the house you bought that you probably couldn't afford? That's not their fault. Okay? You got to stop taking responsibility for where you're at. Don't point anywhere else. Don't use no black card, Hispanic card, white card. Don't use none of that crap. Ain't got nothing to do with it. Take responsibility, and that's when your life starts changing. This is Jay. See y'all in the next video.